You just pick your nose in the live stream.
I do right here.
Sure. Art department.
You said writer.
She's in art department.
No, she was a writer.
Yeah.
She's in writers too?
She can do both.
Because she's in both. So just put down,
writers.
just write down Irma. I'm kidding.
Alright.
Or you can get the other live stream out. It's that glare is really getting you, bro. So you're gonna have to see if there's a purple or something. Just write down writers. What? It's not even how you spell her name.
I know how to spell my sister's name.
It's with an I. And she's gonna get you for that. You. Oh my.
Is it too much to the right?
What is that supposed to say?
It's supposed to say writers, and it's too far to the right.
And you can see it.
Why are you live streaming me, live streaming you, live streaming me, live streaming you?
Okay, you said way too much.
Put writers.
Where are all the good ones go? Oh my god.
Well, we got
Right
them from
here.
the other room.
Oh my god.
Put writers.
Hurry up, hurry up. Corre.
Ah, okay, that's good.
You can't see the green on the whiteboard, Fernando.
Does that tell him?
No, we told you use purple. These little markers aren't gonna do it. Can you get us a big marker real quick?
Yeah, I'll get you guys. a
Fernando,
big
wait.
marker.
He's gonna get us a big marker. You tell him, Irma. I told him the same thing.
You can see it. Barely.
You can't see
They
it
want me
all.
to be Tom, but
Do you need Irma? She's right
I
here.
have like wavy hair and
Do you
Tom
need
has
Irma?
straight hair, and I don't
Dude,
think her straight.
Irma, they need you over here.
I know, but you wanted to do an interview.
Hector just brought her over here. My gosh. Communication. No, I know. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, well, there's the marker. Let me go see who else I can get then.
You're sitting on your phone. I know. Okay. Just
Alright, who else can I get?
I don't know.
What's Diego doing? Is he actually...
Diego's in it. He sits in the
Have you
back of the
interviewed
phone.
Andy?
You know, I haven't gotten a bunch of staff questions, but I'm really trying to get the students ones done today.
You want a student?
I'm not too worried about staff right at this second.
What about India?
Have we haven't done her yet?
Get her. She ain't doing anything.
Yeah, if we can get her, that'd be great, Cynthia. What department is she in?
Art department.
Okay, we'll get her in our department one. Okay, we'll do that one then. I left the markers right there, guys. So if you get something to put that up for the art department and then... Still missing certain people, and I need. She said she's gonna get India, and then from there, like I want you guys to start those interviews, and then from there, I can ask the gun control questions and some of the follow-ups you guys had.
You can't see it because of the light.
And then, did you get a camera, Christian, so you can film the interviews?
What are they at?
They're in that black box.
Stop calling me in here. I don't got an interview.
We
Did we
have.
interview you already?
Yes, y'all interviewed me like the first week.
What did we ask you?
You asked me what does the art department do and like what's gonna be beneficial and stuff like that.
That's what we have.
Did we ask you your thoughts on gun control or not yet?
What?
Sit in the chair.
Sit in the chair.
Well, those are your questions, Hector.
There. Well, because like we're trying to get everyone, because you know how the overarching message of the film is to get a certain message across, and also as it relates to gun control. So we just want to get your kind of thoughts on the matter, as like from a student perspective. All right, so yeah, let me just shut that door slightly. And if you want to just look in there, and then all right. So, do you know what the March for Our Lives movement is?
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about it?
It's a group of kids that it was started by the kids from the Parkland shooting, and they're basically trying to get gun control so that the shooting like decrease because there's been
Okay, so do you know about the March for Our Lives protest that took place in Washington D.C. on March 24th?
that's very specific.
I know,
I don't remember.
there's been a lot of rallies for March for Our Lives, but the biggest one that they had was in Washington D.C. on March 24th, where thousands and thousands of students went to go protest on Washington D.C. and across the country. They held it at the same time, and it was considered one of the largest student organized protests since the Vietnam War. So I just wanted your opinions on what you felt about that march and as the movement as a whole.
I feel that the movement as a whole was especially needed, especially with what they're trying to do with all the gun matters at this moment, and I think those kids have a right to fear for their lives and try and fight for what they're doing.
Okay. So then a lot of this came about because of the constitutional right to bear arms in the Second Amendment. What are your thoughts about the Second Amendment?
I think that the Second Amendment is like it's a right for people to bear arms, but I don't think that to the extent that they're doing now, they shouldn't have that. Like you should not be able to go buy a military grade weapon and use it like in the sense of that.
Okay. So then, getting along those lines, a lot of the students that, as you know, the martial arts have been pushing for some kind of gun legislation or gun control so that people can get these, as you call these really big weapons, military style weapons, right? So then, based on all the different shootings that have been going on, like even before the Parkland shooting, do you feel safe at your school?
At my school specifically, I do feel safe, but I see that why other students wouldn't feel safe, because not everybody has the environment that my school has, so like I understand that you would fear.
Okay, so then have you thought about school shootings often?
I have thought about like when they come up in the news, and then I think about what if that happens somewhere, because my brother doesn't go to my school, so he might not feel safe at his school, so what if that happens there? But like concerning me personally, like in my school, not really.
Mm-hmm. And then so kind of just following up on that, one way that they've proposed to try to prevent school shootings has been arming teachers. Would you feel comfortable if your teachers carrying weapons?
No, not really.
Why is that?
Like I understand. I do trust my teachers, but not as much as where they can bring a gun. Like I really have a problem with them not going through the metal detectors like everybody else. I don't think they should be armed, because what if a teacher gets mad and they decide to pull it on somebody one day? They might not really actually pull the trigger, but that's still a threat on somebody's life.
Okay. Anything else that I'm missing, guys? No? Alright, thanks for your thoughts. Appreciate it.
They're putting up fences at Summer now.
Are they really?
You know, like on the way outside towards like communications, on the hill, they're putting fences along that brick wall, and there's gonna be a gate that only teachers have like access to like get into between that fence and the communications fence.
Because like that used to be all open, and they left that back gate open so anybody could walk on campus or walk off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So now it kind of does look like a prison.
Always unlocked.
And I heard that they're gonna do something about the front where, you know, when visitors come in, they just go to the metal detectors and come straight in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the principal's office is right there up front. They're gonna move that further back into like the actual office, and then make that room so like visitors have to go through that room before they can go into the school.
Ah, okay.
like you do in a jail when
That's
you go
not
in. And
that's not gonna stop them like going through the metal detectors, because the officers they go through the metal detectors, let them beep, and then they just let them keep walking. So.
yeah.
I was like, Struve brings a sword to class, and there's.
I think doesn't he just have it there though? He carries it with him every day.
Like, it's like he sort of uses the excuse that he's a history teacher, because he does like teach like medieval times and stuff like that. And
Like,
he has his armor and everything, and he like participates in this little foreplay thing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know it was the wrong word. It's okay, but he does that, and then he brings it some days, and I was just like, so he just sits here.
That's so
where
weird.
any kid could grab it.
This is a real sword.
You're gonna get that one kid that one day that
I
gets
was
mad.
like, they got mad at me because I bought a fork, and this he brings a sword.
You guys can't bring forks in the school?
No, like they
Sometimes
got
it
so
medals
weird.
if they like.
Like it was a metal fork, and they took it.
They're like, you can't, even
They
though it was
like,
for your
"You
lunch.
can't have this fork," and I was like, "What do you mean I can't have this?"
I can jab somebody just as well as somebody can
And
jab
then,
somebody with a plastic
I
fork.
think at like middle school they made us take like you know how they have studded belts.
Mm-hmm.
They took those.
What?
They
Studded belts?
took the studded belts.
I remember that.
And then somebody had some scissors one day, and they took his scissors.
They were like, no, they don't be playing those
No,
games
you
anymore.
don't need those scissors.
I know one day I was on my way to school with my dad. Before I had my car, I was in the school riding, and I was like, I had brought my makeup bag with me because I needed it for something, and I was like, oh my god, my nice like makeup scissors were in there. I was like, Dad, hold on to these for me. They're not gonna get taken today. I was like, take the tweezers too.
Nice makeup scissors.
No.
Scissors. Nice makeup. Alright, I'm gonna go before I get yelled at.
Alright, appreciate it. So, that's another one down. So, who else?
Jonathan.
Oh, you mean that Jonathan interview we had?
He's the best. I love him. He's sweet. They're using Irma as an extra today since Tom's not here, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they're doing.
Kyrie and Allie are in the film right now. Diego's in the film. Christopher and Domi are filming.
You guys want me to get a staff member?
Sure.
You guys want to interview Toombs?
Sure.
You guys got the. You guys can think of some questions for Toombs?
Yeah.
All right, think of some questions real quick, and I'll go get Toombs.
Well, let's see. Tunes. Where did Fernando go? He like disappeared.
He's in the room with his sister.
Hmm?
He's with his sister. The other.
I need to book a nail appointment.
I think I see Sergio in the morning with this one girl in lunch. Honestly.
What? Is it?
What? Is this
He's such a kid.
Who?
Sergio. We were at Sonic yesterday and his drink had the popping candies in it, and he was sitting there. He kept telling me, be quiet and listen, because they were popping in his mouth. Here's a little kid.
Doesn't matter what.
He's a baby. That's the blue raspberry popping. I feel like we could ask him these, but I don't know. Do you think his interview's gonna be longer than Cynthia's? Hers is pretty long.
It was Miss Cynthia's? I was falling asleep. She kept talking to me.
Have you been recording the interviews with the camera? He didn't get India's interview. Christian, record the camera.
I was in a pistol restaurant.
Sure.
Not for real. I used to play. I was wandering around the hallways talking to Jessica.
Which Jessica?
Huh?
Wait, you said talking to Jessica?
Justin.
Oh, I thought you said Jessica. I was like, I don't think any Jessicas come here. Guys, don't look at him in the eyes.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding. You still have that live stream?
I felt like I was being live streamed.
I accidentally walked into one of the shoots when Tyler had the glasses on.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was coming out of the room and he was talking with the
Hopefully,
last one.
well, hopefully it won't be an issue. I think we'll be alright.
Am I being live streamed while I'm drinking water and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, what's up? What's happening, y'all? What do y'all need from me?
Is he a teacher?
He's
No.
he's the
Director.
he's the director of WMP.
Okay, so Mr. Toombs, what's your main job as the director of WMP?
Wow, my main job is to create a interactive environment that is favorable to a good outcome for this year's performance, our program we're doing. So I spend a lot of time thinking about the environment that you guys come into every day, and what is it going to take to help you be the most expressive and creative in your message that you're trying to put on film.
What's your motivation for coming each week?
My motivation, well, I got a lot of motivations. One of my motivations is you guys, you people, because there's so much happening out there right now, and I feel like that if there is a chance that we're going to make it through all of this safely, it's going to lie with young people like you. And so my goal is to inspire you and to guide you and direct you and make sure that you have insight into the kinds of things that it's going to take for you to be successful in your quest to bring the truth forward in the world. And so that's a real motivation for me. I also support this program. I've been a part of it since it began. I can't even tell you how long ago. It's been a long time. Well before any of you were actually in high school, I'm sure. And so it's been, I think, a successful program for Wyandotte County. My other motivation was Miss Marcia. It asked me if I would invest this time and contribute to this program that has developed over the past years. And so, yeah, I enjoy working with her. We've done programs together for more than 20 years.
Do you have any personal connections to the subjects of the film?
To the individuals or to the concept we're doing?
To the concept.
Yes, I do. I am personally connected to doing whatever I can to balance the scales, to make it so that everybody has a fair and equal chance at a good life. And when I see that scale out of balance, then yeah, I get motivated. And so my goal, my investment is that I want to see our communities develop leaders for the things that are yet to come and the things that are going on right now.
So, Mr. Toombs, if you could think back to your childhood, would you say you can relate to the problems of today's youth?
If I go back and look at my childhood, I went through some things that were similar to what's going on today. It was a little different. I guess it's almost I'm sorry, but the more I think it through, it's almost like the same thing all over again. When I was growing up, there was a lot of racism, but it was outward racism. And then for a time, it was kind of inward, but it was still there. And now all of a sudden, it's coming out again. So in that respect, I guess I have to answer yes to that I do see some relationships between the way I grew up and what you guys are going through.
What's the overall message you're trying to send with this film?
The overall message that I'm trying to send is that when we sit back and we wait for everybody else to solve problems that we all have a responsibility to solve, bad things can happen. That being complacent is that place where people go when they say somebody else ought to fix it. But usually when you come to the realization that something needs fixed, then the first person that should try and do something about it is you. And so I feel like that we all have a responsibility to step up, and I think sometimes the only way to do that is when we can see clearly what the problems are. And so working with the young people in this program, our goal has been to kind of clarify some of the things that are going on out there and make it easier for people who have a difficult time distinguishing the truth from a lie in order for them to make informed decisions. So I'm hoping that working with these young people, we manage to come up with some ways to reveal to the public some of the things that are happening out there and where their responsibility lies and what they need to do to help make things better.
So why is this message important now? The message you're trying to send with the film?
I think it's important because we're going through a time where a lot of really bad things are happening to people we care about. And when you care about people, you feel motivated to do something about it. And so rather than sitting back and just watching these bad things happen, I just feel like we need to do whatever we can and whenever we can to make the burden easier on everybody, on all of us that are suffering right now. And so I just can't sit back and watch and hope that it's going to turn out right. I feel like that the only way that things ever seem to work out for the best is when good people stand up and do what they can to kind of force things to turn out right.
What message do you want to send to the young people in Wyandotte County with this film?
I'd hope that we could help the young people in Wyandotte County understand that they have power as individuals, and that even though in our society a lot of times they try and make young people feel like they have no voice, you know, if we've not learned anything in the past few months, is that young people, when they work together, they do have a voice, and that voice will be heard as long as they work together. But if you sit back and you don't pay attention, which is what some people hope you'll do, then by the time you do wake up and realize what's going on, it'll be too late. So I'm hoping the message that we send is one of activism. You know, get up and get out there and do something. Don't just sit back and wait and complain. Let's get proactive and see if we can't come up with some solutions to some of these problems that exist right now.
So the concept and the overall plot of the film was directed and written by students. Why do you think the students felt this message was important?
Well, our process in developing these designs for our films is one of a general consensus, or consensus building. And that means that we put a question out to the entire group and we ask what are some of the concerns that we feel are important to tackle. And by the time everyone gave their opinion out of 30-something individuals, the majority of them felt like complacency, the act of doing nothing, is one that they felt was most prominent right now. And so we then decided to look at that more closely and see if we could determine in what ways our young people as well as our community are being complacent. And what came back was the fact that we're being complacent as it pertains to brutality against young black men, the assault on young women, the thing that is happening to our immigrant members of our society. These were all areas that we felt like the most prominent parts of our complacency seems to be impacting. And so these are the areas that we focused on for writing our scripts. We basically gave our young people an opportunity to contribute to what they feel was the best message to bring focus to those areas. And I think they came up with a pretty solid storyline. And and the actors seem to be putting a considerable amount out there too to get the message across. So I'm really impressed with what I see coming out so far. And I'm going to take a moment here, and since I'm still working along with this interview, and say, Dar, what you want, man?
Sorry to interrupt y'all. Todd needs a more sturdy tripod, which will be that one. I'll swap it with mine for now, time being. He needs for the main camera. They need to do it now because they're about to start filming. Sorry. I'm just needing now because they were going to film and they had no way to stabilize the cameras. And media services is closed, so.
Yeah, I just seen Randy walk out earlier.
Dude, he's like, I'm done.
We need to make sure that we get those, find Cynthia, and we need to make sure we get those tears worked out.
So what?
We got to get some crying up in there.
Oh, tears. I thought you meant like tears, like a different level or something.
We need some emotions. We need some depth of doohickeyness.
Doohickeyness? I don't know if that's... Okay. I will try to work with that.
Thank you. We still got a stream going over here.
Yeah, that one. I'm still waiting for, what is it, Todd to finish up.
On what? Oh, so, but he's recording.
Well, they're both recording.
That's what I'm saying. We can keep going if you want to. We can just get live stream of us doing live stream.
Oh my god. Okay, like I already lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Elia, did you guys have anything else you guys wanted to add before I kept going?
Y'all don't have nothing? Nothing?
Most of the questions I'm just coming up on the spot with them.
Huh?
I'm kind of just coming up with the spot questions based on kind of what you're telling me.
Yeah. Y'all must have some questions.
What were you asking them right now?
What was I asking them?
Mm-hmm.
I asked them the overall message of the film. I asked them what are some things that he wants young people in Wyandotte County to get out of the film. We asked him why he felt this program was important. We asked him why he felt the message of the film was important. I think that's pretty much all I asked you so far, right, Sims?
You know, we don't talk. We haven't talked about the media aspect of it.
Oh, you mean like how the film comes to fruition?
Why do we decide to do a film?
Versus any other form of media, versus like a.
Why is this medium so important as compared to getting out there with a picket sign?
That's true. So let me ask you that then. So why did WMP as a program as a whole has evolved from the way that we shown films, from PSAs to short films to from full-length movies to all the way back to short films? So why do we keep coming back to short films as a way to try to get our message across?
and that's been kind of a tightrope walk for us over the years, because everyone feels like PSAs are a powerful tool to convey messages, public service announcements, PSAs, mainly because we've been conditioned for sound bites. So quick snaps is a way for you to get a quick message across to some quick friends, right? And Facebook, you do little quick blurbs, you know. So everything's designed to be quick. So we've always felt like, you know, we needed to create some sort of a tool that would allow us to tell a message very quickly, to the point, in hopes that we could reach a large audience. And maybe even by telling it quickly and precisely, we could get a larger audience. You know, our goal would be to see this get out there and get and go viral and get seen by lots and lots of people. But, you know, generally when that happens, it's because you caught a wave and you hit a vein, and, you know, you hit a nerve with the public, and they really can feel what you're saying because of the conditions and circumstances that are already out there in society. And so we've been trying to customize this message that it might have a chance to ride one of those waves. We feel that media has always been a wonderful approach to provide young people a chance to express their views. It gives a large range of individuals a number of different access points in which to participate, you know, which is cameras and sound and acting and writing and directing, and all of that is part of the effort that goes into creating this short public service announcement. So our goal every year has been to try and create something that's really short and sweet and hits that nerve. And I think this year is probably one of the times that we've come closer to doing that, because it's taken us some time just to refine our own understanding of what we're trying to do as a group. I think in previous years, some of our short films have been about 20 minutes long. And, you know, people just we just can't hold people's attention that long. You know, you can't put something out there on American cable and expect people to just sit down and watch it for 30 minutes and they don't know anything about it and where it's going and what it means and that kind of thing. So this year we took on the challenge of trying to create something much shorter, much more to the point, with a pretty heavy resonance of emotions and ties to what's going on in our society now. And we're really hoping that it's going to hit the market and it's going to really travel. Go out there and hit a large share of the market, and that, you know, people will understand that this group of young people were really tied into what's going on out there in the world right now.
Any closing thoughts you want to add before we let you go?
Well, I guess what I would say to people out there listening is that we are in a time when there are people out there who have spent millions of dollars examining what it takes to utilize all of the nuances that affect our behavior in our society today. And they've constructed it an approach in order to circumvent our liberties using that information. And that they are depending on us being asleep, not paying attention, being consumed by consumerism in order for them to carry out their plan. And if you care about freedom, if you care about fairness, if you care about those you love, you better wake up. And you better get active. And you better figure out how you're going to contribute to waking up this society before it's too late. Because once it's happened, you know, this is not something you can't dismantle a country and then think that tomorrow you can just turn it back on. It took hundreds of years to create this way we live. And if we allow it to be dismantled right before our very eyes and don't do anything about it, then even if we put the people in there we think can fix it, it could take them years in this climate to try and redirect things to the place they should be. So I think the fact that these young people decided that the focus of this project is going to be complacency, that they came to the conclusion that the biggest problem they see in our society today is that people are sitting back and just letting things happen and aren't doing anything about it. That tells you a lot. And so don't be complacent. Don't sit back and wait until it's too late and then worry about how to fix it. Let's all get out there and let's find ways to have an impact while there's still a chance that it can matter. And so let's take a note from these young people who have helped us come to focus on the issue at hand. And let's get out there and let's see in what way we can contribute to stabilizing our society and fixing the wrongs that are going on and making them right again. That's the thought I want to leave.
All right. Appreciate you coming in, Timms.
Hey, it's been fun.
Let me know if Todd's ready for me to do that live stream too, because if not, I can.
Come on.
You want us to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do that. All right. In the meantime, I'll go see if I can't find someone else for you guys to interview. All right?
Okay.
Give me a second.
I forget.
Yeah, I did last time.
Never mind.
You want some?
No.
Alright, you take it.
Clemens.
Christian, you're funny. Look who that is in that picture. Look who it is. Do you know who it is?
Who?
Colton.
Oh. Why is he wearing red? I mean blue.
So that's for impersonation day.
You know this monkey right there? She's cute.
Alexa.
What school she goes to?
Sumner.
Oh.
She's a junior. I have her in art class. You think she's cute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. I'm kidding. Yay, we have one person watching.
I told this ex. Her ex, she was cute. And he just screenshotted the conversation. You know what I'm talking about, right? Her ex. Jose? Kim.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he screenshot the conversation when I told him.
to do a spin. I'm kidding. What if I just, bring, and it just, you think it will?
Nah.
No, you don't think it will?
Try it.
I wonder who's watching.
I'm watching.
Bro?
I see.
It's almost 4 o'clock. It's crazy, huh? Time really flew. How's school going, Aaliyah?
It's going.
Yeah. I'm so tired of school. But it's okay. Get that education and then we can make the money, huh?
Miss Brown.
Which Brown? Jamel or
Amy.
No. Why? You have her? How is it?
She's the worst.
I heard she's like having Shirley. Did you ever have Shirley?
I was in her class for like 3 days and I transferred to art.
That's good. Fernando, what are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm back. It's really boring. And they're still filming. My name is Fernando. I am 15 years old. I go to Sumner Academy. I was born 2002, October.
2002?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to be 10th instead of 9th?
I was born in October. I was like...
That's a late, isn't it? A late birthday?
I was like 2 months off. I'm a freshman. But yeah, you know, it's whatever. Here you go. The camera's watching you.
Ready? You ready? Let's see this one do a spin. No, kidding. Whoa, guys, where's Fernando?
Someone's watching my live feed, my live stream. Over here.
Hurry.
Like peeking into the dome.
Ooh, extreme close.
We're gonna
Just
play
kidding.
King Man again?
So I
No.
guess today you're not gonna finish all the interviews.
Huh?
I guess today you're not gonna finish all the interviews.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get more interviews done today. Dar! Here comes Hector and Dar. I think Dar.
Alright.
Hey.
Hey?
Yeah. Okay. Let's try to talk about Kimberly.
Hey guys!
I'm gonna have Dar come in for an interview.
Whoa, Look who it is.
Oh, hello.
Dar, where's the rest of your shirt?
I don't. I think I just stopped loading halfway. It buffered.
Oh, did you leave it in the forest?
There you go.
Yeah, do it with the glasses.
Gotta, go full nerd on them.
So Kim, you got the interview? Asking some kind of just general questions about his role in the program.
Why is he just chilling on the desk like that?
Me? Hey man. It's
So, Dar,
he feels at home on computers.
Yeah.
what's your main job as a teacher?
Is it filming right now?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
It
Sorry.
stays filming.
Wow, that's
That's
crazy.
all time.
Like y'all don't edit none of this stuff out?
Reality is live.
Oh,
It's the
real.
reality.
Oh, my main role is really like I'm the assistant project director or manager. I don't know which one I am. I think it's the manager or director. But my main role is making sure you guys get everything on time. I'm in here assisting everybody, help editing, things like that. Also getting supplies, like I was helping getting some stuff earlier. Just being an assistant, really. Just make sure Toombs doesn't have it lose his mind because whenever all this logistic stuff going on, that way he doesn't have to worry about the smaller stuff. I'll deal with it. So.
What's your motivation for coming every week?
You guys are my motivation. I was one of you guys at one point. You guys drive me to do all things I do. I mean, I want you guys to learn as much as you can before you go to college, and you guys have those skill sets and knowledge. Y'all can continue on doing the things y'all do. That's why we want the younger generation, and so we can bring you guys through the program. That way, those seniors can like reflect back and help out those younger ones, and they can keep helping with the cameras and thinking of new ideas. You guys are gonna be leaders and everything like that. And like I said, I was one of you guys, so I know exactly what you guys are going through. And you guys y'all keep me motivated. I mean, I learn from y'all. So.
How long have you been with the program?
Whew, this feels like the hit interview with Hector. The K through 12 initiative interviews. I want to say I started when I was in my sophomore year because I don't remember actually even hearing about this until my sophomore year because I think Miss Hamill was the one. She was my counselor, Wanda. That one must have been 06. So yeah, it's been a while. So 06 till now, a little bit over like what, 12 years? Yeah. I mean that's student and being a faculty. So faculty, that was probably like 2010, 2009 when I graduated, became a college intern. I was doing all the programs like you guys were. There was probably more programs than it was now. I mean, Guards was a full-time thing while DC. I was also the summer, and I was never at the KU Med. I was always, because I don't think it didn't exist till like later on, but I wasn't part of it because I was just doing the one residential at KU Lawrence. So.
Do you have any personal connections to the film this year?
I really do. I mean, the Black Lives Matter thing, I mean, you travel around every day. I'm partially, African American, and if you got any color, they peg you as a minority. It doesn't matter. There's not much differentiation of what you are. They see you as a target or whatever you want to think, and that makes you paranoid in your everyday life. I mean, I have family that's been in jail and things happen to them and everything. So, like, I once was, targeted for some stuff, and obviously I didn't do it, and they saw my family name, they instantly changed their whole face and attitude, and I did not like that, just based on who I was related to or my background per se, but not fully knowing who I was, and they just instantly, stereotype you and categorize you, and you gotta be wary of that. Like, people don't realize you have to deal with that every single day of your life. You walk into a situation, to a restaurant, a public building, a job interview, you gotta realize, like, you always gotta have in the back of your conscience of somebody's gonna be judging you, or how you look, or how you talk, or how you present yourself. It's daunting. I mean, it's not fun. You can't have the ease of mind when you go somewhere. The back of your mind, somebody might say something, or judge you, or do something that you don't like because of the way you look or the way you act.
Now, thinking back to your childhood, would you say you can relate to the problems of today's youth?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, my last name has like a Middle Eastern descent to it, so I mean, discrimination, things like that, and then like I also said, being a person of color, I mean, that right there alone, you can relate to a lot of stuff that's going on in the social justice system and everything like that. The topics we're going over, the Me Too, I've known people that have had sexual abuse or been like assaulted and things like that, and I can relate to them because they tell me their stories, and it's not a good thing. Those people have gone through a lot, and you got to speak up on those things. That stuff is not equality. You know what I'm saying? People judge you just on some stuff just because of your gender, you know, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation and things like that. That's never okay. And the youth going right now, they've been really speaking up, especially about the gun control and things like that in the schools. You gotta remember, like, this gun stuff has been going on since forever. I mean, prevalent like from like late '90s until now. I remember hearing about the Columbine shooting when I was a kid. I just thought, like, what if that happened in my school? But I mean, that was just one, and now it's like almost every other day you hear about somebody getting shot or people getting abused or some kind of inequality going on. It's not right. It really messes with me because one day I want to have kids and I don't want them to grow up in the world that you guys have to be dealing with right now, you know?
Oh, never mind.
Any more questions?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so, Dar, do you know what the March for Our Lives is?
March for Our Lives. Is that the gun control? Okay. I mean, I'm not obviously in high school or in the public school system anymore, but I was in it at one point. And I think it's really powerful, and I think they need to continue that because I think ever so often the people from the government or higher ups, they want to shush the people who are, you know, speaking up and saying things against what they're trying to, you know, imply into law and things like that. And then these people who are doing it right now, they're doing the walkouts and things like these younger youth, they have the time, they have the resources, they have the passion to do it, and I hope they continue doing it, and they hope they get their measures out and everybody realize they need to change these laws and get this stuff changed because these people die for no reason. Just because of some stupid law, everyone wants to have their guns and everything. I'm like, not saying guns are 100% bad, but not in certain hands as they are, you know what I mean? So.
What do you think about the demonstration or the protest that took place in Washington, D.C. on March 24th?
What was the demonstration about? I mean, was it about the gun control too?
Yeah.
Is that where they had the shoes lined up? Was that something else? They had like 14,000 shoes, depicting each person that died due to gun violence.
That was a different day. Remember the clips that you showed about the
with Emma Gonzalez
talking?
Oh, that was that. Okay, there were so many different things because they had the 12-year-old girl, and they had that's the Emma Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, that was that day.
Okay,
Emma Gonzalez.
I think that's really powerful and it's showing everybody that this stuff really does matter. I mean, it's not something you can just take lightly. These kids, if you imagine, like you go to school one day, if your cousin, your aunt, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, somebody comes in there and just massacres these people and have no way to protect themselves, and you can't control this. I mean, you don't know when it's going to happen. It'd be random. You know, these people are gone the next day. Imagine have somebody taken away from you like that. You had no control over this, and this stuff can be easily prevented. And so I understand where they're coming from, and I've had lost family members over basically nothing, friends and things like that. And you know, these things are important. They need to be spoken out on. They need to be pushed. They need to be changed. The laws need to be regulated. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So going off of that, how do you feel about the Second Amendment as a whole?
I mean, the right to bear arms, I think that amendment is really outdated because back when that thing was, put in the law, the whole Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all this stuff, I mean, people back then had muskets and, gunpowder. It'd take you 20 minutes to load a gun and shoot something that might not even kill your target. These people had no kind of they were living in log cabins and things like that back when the country was founded. And it was more or less just trying to protect whatever asset you had, not really just going out and, a semi-automatic or fully automatic, assault rifle or, machine gun or things like that. These things should not have, regular civilians should not have that in their hands. And things for hunting and things like that, those are totally different types of guns. But then these people are getting these weapons of war. These things are literally designed to kill other humans. Why would you want something that can shoot 100 rounds in a couple seconds for a deer, or trying to, you can kill a deer with a bow and arrow or things like that. These things were made to end something else's life, most likely humans. I'm pretty sure people can argue against it, whatever. I'm not trying to have that argument here today, but they're made to kill people. And in the wrong hands, people that have mental, disabilities or people who have anger issues and things like that, those background checks that don't go through, they don't need to have it. I mean, nobody really needs to have them besides people going to war, and I don't even like war myself, so.
All right, appreciate it, Dark.
No problem.
Thanks.
Anybody else needs to come in?
Who else do you think? Who else is in the room that's in that room? Who else is in that room that I could even get?
You already got Cynthia.
You know what? Can you go get Andy for me real quick?
Yeah, yes, right. Listen, you talking to him.
I'll get Andy first, and then let's see who else I can get from there.
Andy. Sorry if I rambled on. I know Tomb's probably like an hour.
You're right, dude.
You get this one.
I think yours is the shortest staff one so far, though.
For real?
Yeah, Cynthia was about 40
I
minutes.
think it was Cynthia, Tombs, Cynthia, and then
Tombs go longer than Cynthia, really?
Right here?
Tombs and longer than Cynthia. Right
Dude,
here.
Tombs is like the interview king, bro. That man will
Why
talk
I
you
didn't even
off.
have the camera on. He gave me an interview on why talking to a camera. Something about talking to a camera as if you're talking.
Interview within an interview. There you go. Let y'all go.
I appreciate it, Dar.
No problem.
Alright, so you guys can kind of just ask the kind of the same questions you were asking Dar, pretty much.
Alright, state your name for the camera, please.
My name is Andres Lovato. I
Alright.
work for Wednesday Media. I help Todd with the text and the tech crew.
Alright, what's your motivation for Wednesday Media?
My motivation is to help the students as best I can, help them with the films, produce them, and motivate them to help the world make a better place.
Do you have any personal connections to the film?
No, not really, but we always help each other out. I consider them my friends, and we're always there for each other.
How long have you been part of Wednesday Media?
I started from high school when I was in my junior year, all the way up to this current year in college.
Would you say the youth inspires you to come each day?
Wait, could you repeat that?
Like, do like the people, like the kids and the students that come here, do they inspire you to come each day?
Yes, they inspire me to come over.
Can you relate to the problems of today's youth?
I can relate to some, probably, regarding, like, with what's been going on in the world, like DACA. I've seen people in fear, children especially, that they've been, afraid that they're gonna get deported or worse. They'll see their parents go while they stay behind. That's something I don't want to see. That's why I'm here to help them understand.
Do you
that
know
they're not
what?
alone.
Do you know what March for Our Lives is?
Hmm?
March for Our Lives.
Yeah, I fear you guys. Honestly.
Yes. So, like, how do you think that's like helping the youth right now?
Well, it's not. It's not gonna help much, but not a lot. Not gonna help at all. Fearing that. It's not gonna help at all.
Do you think it motivates others to speak up?
By fear, you mean?
No, like the March for Our Lives, like the
March for Our
the
Lives.
protests that they're doing.
Everyone has the right to speak their minds. I think it helps us. It motivates people to go out there and speak. That's what I like about this. That's what I like. Yes, it'll help motivate everyone to know that we're not alone. That we're against something. We're against them.
What do you think about the demonstration that took place in Washington, D.C. on March 24th with thousands of students?
It was incredible. It showed that how the students are mature, all of them are, how they want a change in their schools, how safety, better teachers, better students are keeping a close watch on, not only on everyone. One, that makes me proud, that makes me happy, knowing that everyone is going through this.
What's your opinion on the Second Amendment?
Do you think people should have a right to weapons?
What? No. People should have a right to have weapons.
Yeah, that's the Second Amendment means the right to bear arms from the Constitution. So basically it means that
I can go out and buy a gun because I live in the United States. That means anyone can go out and buy a gun. That's what Second Amendment means. Do you think everybody should be allowed to buy a gun?
My personal opinion, I don't think it depends. I don't think everyone deserves them. Depend on if they're not mentally capable of handling it. I believe not. No, I do not support that. I don't support everyone should carry guns. No, I don't support it. I don't support that part of them carrying weapons.
Okay, and then so would you be in favor of any kind of laws that would prevent people from certain people, like you said, people with mental illness or people that have history of violence, to prevent them from owning weapons?
Like, should they be?
Would you be in favor for it? Like, would you be okay? Would you be okay with if they passed a law like that?
No, I wouldn't be okay. I wouldn't feel safe. I wouldn't feel safe coming out of my house knowing, or coming to a place where there's people you don't know. Some people that you don't know, they might carry something with them, like some carry a gun, and I'll probably be a bit of a paranoid about that.
Okay, and then you're a college student yourself. Some of these, this conversation about school shootings have been taking place on a high school level, but these school shootings have also happened in colleges, like in different, like Combine, for example. So, do you feel safe where you go to school?
This school I'm going to, right now, I feel safe now because here everyone's mature. In this campus I go to, they're all mature. They all know what's right from what's wrong, and security here is now they're being doubled to make sure there's no one carrying weapons.
KCKC is the open carry campus.
Well, maybe, but
that means people can carry guns here. If you're a student, you have a permit, you can carry a gun here. That's what open carry is.
Really?
Yeah.
Well.
So what are your thoughts on that? That students can carry weapons now, and that's been going on for the past 2 years now, I think.
Well, with that law what you just mentioned, I don't feel safe with that law still being effect. But when I walk into the campus, I just feel more safe now. Just feel safe because so far I haven't seen anyone carrying a lethal weapon besides security officers.
Okay. So, would you know what to do in the event of a school shooting? Or like a shooting to take place? Or do you know what you need to do?
Well, back first, if I hear or see a school shooting, I probably would start quickly call a security officer, warn a nearby security officer if there is one, and warn them, or call the 911 just to get them over here as quickly as possible. Stop it, or yeah, I would.
Okay. So kind of just wrapping up thoughts. What message do you want people to get out of the film for this year?
I want them to know that wish for this film to let people know that those who are not unknown to what's going on in the world, or they're just ignoring, they have to realize what's going on out there. I want them to know the possibility that this might be happening to them, or someone close to you. So keep a watchful eye on those, and be prepared and expect the unexpected.
You guys want anything else on that? Alright, thanks for coming in, Andy. Appreciate it.
I suck at interviews.
You did alright, man.
I was bringing you your stuff.
James, are they still filming?
No, they're pretty much done.
Okay, we can wrap this up, guys. We're gonna I'm gonna have to do the majority of these interviews. We're gonna have to do the majority of these interviews next week. At least we got the staff ones out of the way. So we got the staff ones done, so we gotta, did we even get any student interviews today?
One.
We got one student interview in.
We did India, that was it.
That's better than nothing, guys. Better than nothing.